Abuse survivor Sue Adey has bravely waived her right to anonymity. Yesterday we reported on the trial and conviction of a former family friend, but there was a second case which, if anything, is even more shocking. Alan Rees was a teacher in Hastings with form.
He was just a dashing teacher that everyone had a crush on. We used to love going to geography because it was Mr. Rees teaching us.
But he took advantage of that and he twice abused Sue. She says it was an open secret and she wasn't the only one.
I told people, it wasn't that I didn't tell. The whole school knew. Why was nothing done? Why was it just left?
The school where it happened has been demolished. The memories are more permanent.
How hard is it coming back here?
I think it probably is hard. It would have, if I think about being at school, it's hard.
Years after he abused Sue, or Susie Brooks as she was known then, separate complaints about Rees meant he was finally confronted. But the police weren't told, and the Education Authority only disqualified him from teaching girls, not boys. A decision the judge described as staggering.
All that happened was he was sent to a psychiatrist and he was allowed to carry on teaching. I wrote to Education when I was 30, so 19 years ago, and said, why did you not do anything? They said, it's very serious what you've accused happening, we're sending it to the police, they'll be in touch. Nobody was ever in touch.
It wasn't until 26 years later, in 2008, that Rees's past caught up with him in the form of a CRB check. But he wasn't prosecuted.
No one ever took it any further, just left it. And I think it's disgusting. But, you know, so many kids in so many situations across the country have been affected by things like this, and nothing was done.
Post-Savile, campaigners say the tide is finally turning.
It is really shocking in cases like Sue that her abuse was swept under the carpet, that she was ignored, that she was not listened to, and that professionals didn't support her. But we must reassure victims right now, if they come forward, things are starting to change.
In a final twist, unrecognised by Sue, Alan Rees later began delivering books to the community centre she ran. A friend alerted her and he apologised by text. The judge was limited to sentencing Rees under the law of the 1980s. He got just 2.5 years. 2 separate court cases, both men jailed.
I want to thank those jurors for believing me, because I've never lied. I never lied back then. I don't lie now. It did happen. I was there.
It took 36 years, but someone finally listened to 13-year-old Susie Brooks.